What if I told you there's a woman making $17 million from businesses you walk past every single day without thinking twice? No fancy tech startup, no viral social media brand, just laundromats, car washes, and vending machines. Codie Sanchez figured out something most entrepreneurs completely miss, and it's hiding in plain sight in your own neighborhood. Every time I hear about someone making millions from simple businesses, my BS detector starts buzzing. Not because it's impossible, but because the people telling these stories usually skip the part where everything goes wrong. So with Codie's $17 million empire, I had to ask, is this real wealth or just good marketing? Are those boring businesses actually boring moneymakers? Or are we missing some crucial details? The only way to know for sure is to follow the money trail and see what's actually left. I was scrolling through TikTok one night when her video popped up. She was casually explaining how she bought a cash-flowing car wash using seller financing, basically acquiring it without putting in her own money. I thought, there's no way this is legit. Then I looked at the numbers. Over $4 million in monthly revenue across 26 boring businesses. And none of them are flashy. No apps, no tech buzz, no unicorn dreams. A strategy based entirely on boring, overlooked industries. No VC money, no IPO, no viral moment. That question hit me hard. Did she really build all this? And more importantly, did she manage to keep it? Because if you can build lasting wealth from something as simple as a vending route or coin laundry, what am I missing? So I dug deeper into Codie Sanchez's story to find out whether this was a clever hustle or a sustainable empire hiding in plain sight. Here's what I found. Codie didn't start out in business. She started with a pen and a press badge. Before the boardrooms and spreadsheets, she was a journalist covering border conflicts and cartel violence. Stories most people ran from. Her job wasn't glamorous, but it built something far more valuable: grit. She came from a blue-collar, middle American family. No family office, no secret seed money, just work ethic. But here's what most people miss about successful entrepreneurs. They're not always the loudest in the room. They're the ones asking better questions. Codie's turning point came when she looked around the world of finance and realized that the people with true freedom weren't the hedge fund managers. They were the small business owners. Think about that. She had worked with big-name investment firms, Goldman Sachs, Vanguard, but the people she admired most weren't pitching billion-dollar ideas. They were running dry cleaners, buying RV parks, managing vending routes. You ever wonder why ultra-wealthy families own utility companies, janitorial franchises, and local storage units? It isn't sexy, but it is steady. Codie started seeing the world differently. Not as a ladder to climb, but as a board to play smart moves on. She had the grit and curiosity, but what about access? Breaking into the world of small business acquisitions as a young woman, often with no connections or track record, meant rejection after rejection. That's when she asked herself, what if boring businesses were the real secret to long-term wealth? She didn't have a blueprint. She didn't have access. She had curiosity and the courage to ask, what if I could do this too? It wasn't just about replacing her salary. It was about rewriting what financial freedom looked like and who could claim it. Here's where most people give up. The first no. Codie? She got hundreds of them, especially in the beginning. The transition wasn't smooth. She didn't have a track record in buying businesses. She wasn't some serial entrepreneur. She was new, and people knew it. She walked into bank meetings and got laughed at. One banker literally asked, why not try something more modern? Codie tells stories about meeting with bankers who quite literally laughed at her. Why do you want to buy a laundromat? Don't you want something more modern? And let's be honest, how many of us would keep going deal after deal with nothing but no as an answer? And honestly, if I were in her shoes, I might have backed off too. But Codie's first tactical win was flipping rejection into resilience. She started documenting her process online, not just her wins, but the awkward cold calls, failed negotiations, the times she almost gave up. People started paying attention, not because she was perfect, but because she was honest. Here's what most people don't realize. Her first big win wasn't the laundromat. It was her decision to document everything. Instead of hiding her rejections, Codie shared them. She started putting her failed calls, her awkward emails, and her breakdowns online. It didn't make her look perfect, but it made her real. And real attracts opportunity. Here's a practical truth. While most beginners want a business with massive upside and zero risk, Codie only bought companies with financials even her grandmother could understand. No wild turnarounds, no stories about potential. Her rule, if it didn't make money already, she walked away. She also followed a rule most beginners ignore. If the business wasn't already profitable, she walked away. No turnaround fantasies, no potential hype. If her grandmother couldn't understand the P&L, she said no. But here's where contrarian thinking really shines. Everyone wants to invest in the next Facebook. Codie bought businesses with clear cash flow, existing demand, simple operations, a car wash here, a vending machine route there, maybe a landscaping crew. She gave them structure, plugged in checklists, and figured out how to run them without being present every day. But maybe the smartest thing she did? She used seller financing. The overlooked trick? She used seller financing, offering a retiring owner payments over time, using the business's own future earnings to pay down the purchase price. That meant Codie could acquire businesses with little personal savings and avoid risky bank loans. Instead of raising big capital or taking risky loans, she negotiated with retiring owners. They got paid over time, using the business's own profits. First few tries, messy. Owners hesitant, contracts confusing, a ton of legal back and forth. I'm sure you've wondered, what makes someone keep going after so many stumbles? The difference. Codie focused on learning, not just earning. Each deal gone sideways became part of her playbook. She'd tweak her approach, refine her process, and try again. It was slow. The first laundromat took over a year to pay itself off. But when it did, that was the proof. What happened next? Her first acquisition, a simple laundromat, paid itself off in a little over a year. That was the light bulb. Boring works, boring wins. Boring in the right hands is scalable. She didn't just make it work, she made it repeatable. Most people quit when the first contract falls through. Codie turned every mistake into a lesson. Every no refined her approach. Every deal gone sideways added to her growing playbook. She wasn't just chasing money, she was learning how to make it sustainable. But Codie didn't stop at one laundry business and call it a day. She started stacking up different types of boring businesses. And that was her breakthrough move. Once Codie proved the model worked, she didn't stop. But she also didn't scale the way most entrepreneurs do. She didn't chase viral growth, blitz scaling, or flashy launches. She didn't try to turn one business into a unicorn. Instead, she went wide. She built horizontally. Imagine owning several businesses in different niches: laundromats, vending machine routes, landscaping companies, even car washes. If one had a rough month, say, the vending machine slumped for a month, the others balanced out her income. Instead of putting all her eggs into a hope and pray startup, she created what she called a horizontal income machine. A vending route here, a landscaping crew there, a car wash. Each business was completely different from the last, but every one of them shared a few key traits: steady cash flow, minimal oversight, and no dependency on hype or trends. If one business had a slow month, another picked up the slack. That's the brilliance of it. Codie called it her horizontal income machine. Her secret formula? She refused to start from scratch. Rather than building from zero, she acquired existing profitable operations and improved them. She avoided rescue jobs and only picked businesses with a record of cash flow. Each new acquisition plugged into her growing playbook of systems, staff routines, and financial tracking. It's not about growing one empire until it topples from its own weight. It's about assembling a portfolio of small, strong businesses that run on systems, not stress. That pays her consistently, even when she's not watching. What made it scalable wasn't luck, It was structure. This is where the real scale kicked in. She launched a holding company to manage multiple acquisitions, grew a small core team, and delegated so the businesses didn't eat up every minute of her time. That's something most solo entrepreneurs, addicted to hustling 24/7, never figure out. She developed a repeatable acquisition system. It wasn't just intuition or gut feeling, it was process. Due diligence checklists to vet each deal. Staff SOPs, standard operating procedures to make onboarding easy. Financial dashboards so she could see what was happening without micromanaging. Standardized onboarding systems so new businesses could plug into her model quickly. And most importantly, she didn't try to be the CEO of every business. She hired operators, skilled people who could run the day-to-day while she focused on strategy, systems, and finding the next acquisition. Most entrepreneurs chase vertical scale. More customers, more employees, bigger offices, more overhead, more stress. Codie went the other way. She built sideways. One boring, cash-flowing operation at a time. Each business she acquired had to meet 3 clear requirements. It was already profitable. It was easy to understand. No PhD or coding skills required. It could run without her in the weeds every single day. That's the secret most people miss. She didn't start these businesses from scratch. She didn't build them in her garage. She bought them, then improved their operations, installed better systems, and let the cash flow. She didn't become a founder. She became an acquirer. And by doing that, she avoided the riskiest, most exhausting part of entrepreneurship, the startup phase. No branding from scratch, no building a customer base, no guessing if the idea would work. She only bet on businesses that already proved they worked, and then she made them better. That's how Codie Sanchez scaled quietly. No spotlight, no pitch decks, no chasing unicorns, just boring businesses, smart systems, and steady money. If this story made you see opportunity differently, hit that like button and subscribe for more real wealth-building strategies that actually work. Drop a comment below. Would you ever buy a boring business? Or are you still chasing the shiny stuff? Share your thoughts with someone who's ready to think differently about wealth. Because in the end, steady beats flashy. And boring? Turns out, boring might just be brilliant. And I read every single comment, so let me know what boring business in your area you never thought twice about. Your next gold mine might be hiding in plain sight.